It's nice to be back in the studio. You know, we've had a pretty busy summer here, doing lots of construction at the property, but right now it's time to show you this new product by ATVBodyArmor.com. It is a 360-degree protection for your ATV. Of course, they have this for many different models. This one right here, Yamaha Grizzly 700. This is my cousin's machine, and he's a little particular about this machine, doesn't want to scratch anything up, doesn't want to dent these fenders, and he's got a camp way past mine, and it's in some gnarly bush. It's a bad area, and it's pretty easy to scratch things up. So we got this 360 surround ATV body armor. We're going to install it. Does a lot of cool things. Protects your fenders, helps stop a rollover because it sticks out nice and far. It's good if you're a rancher, you're working on a farm, the cattle aren't going to rub up against and smash these expensive fenders. You know, I know a couple of friends of mine, they have a whole other set of fenders for theirs. I'm not quite sure why they did it, because maybe it's when they're going to sell it, they'll put the other fenders back on. But why bother buying an extra set of fenders when you can get stuff like this? It's going to protect your machine, it's going to protect against rollover, cattle protection. Also going to help you when you're going through the bush, just banging off of rocks and trees. Wait till you see how this thing mounts up. There's a couple cool aspects to this. This is the front bumper. They have a few different ways that it can be mounted up. This is a rear bumper. This one's for a Honda Foreman. With the Honda, of course, there comes different mounting plates. These go down around your feet. We have these for the Yamaha as well. Everything is powder coated and made of chromoly tubing. Wait till you see how this goes on. The only thing they don't tell you is how quick this installs. This is probably about a 15-minute install. Let's get her done. The first thing we're going to do, we're going to install this rear mount section or rear bumper section. They do have different types of models that you can get. Now this one here, actually I'll pull this off. I've already done one side, make things a little easier. Just slip this in. Everything is marked, you need, so you know where it goes. But ideally you're going to want to do your front and rear bumpers first. Then you just slide your side protection in and you're good to go. I'm that kind of guy that does things my own way. I don't know why, maybe not always a good thing to do. But it's the way I do it. Let's get the front bumper on. This 9/16 wrench, 9/16 socket, 10mm wrench, 10mm socket. It's probably all you're going to need on this. Now there's a little skid plate on this Grizzly on the front made out of plastic. That's where your winch goes in there. Just want to undo those two bolts so you can drop it down a little bit. You don't really have to remove any of this stuff. It's all still going to stay on there. Now this, hopefully I don't have to take that off. You go in there. Pop that out. Get out of there. Get out of there. There. One of those. Yeah, so put everything in nice and loosely to start. And that way, you're not going to run into any issues trying to mount things up. Get out of there. There you go. There we go. Goes right over your stock fenders. You don't need to get in there and cut any plastic or anything like that. That's not cool. Nobody wants to do that. We're here to protect our fenders. We're not here to cut them up. After you've placed this bumper where it's supposed to go, you just put this little bracket here. Looks like it goes like that. It might be a little hard for you to see in here, but you know, oh, that hurt. It's my knee. Oh yeah, nice. Now, I'm not going to Loctite these, but you should. But if my cousin wants to make some changes to this, he can. So I'm giving him that option. I'm not going to Loctite him in right now. Like I said, everything's still nice and loose. There's a little bit of adjustment on these bars so you can move things around, which is kind of nice until you get the right magic spot. There's that one. And this side. There's that one. Man, oh man, this is heavy duty stuff too. He's gonna like this. This is the kind of thing we need on our bikes when we head into the camp or when we're playing in the backcountry. There's no doubt. Protect those plastics. Now, easy peasy part. Now, there we go. Come on up here. Pull that forward. Do one of these. Now this here, you'll notice, these front mounts are a little rigid for shipping, so you just loosen them up. There we go. And just push them into place. You can always use a little rubber mallet. Put a piece of cloth over that if you need to. There we go. Now it's time to install these little step plates. Actually bring that bar out quite far. You can see how this sort of helps, you know, if any of you guys are out there ATVing quite often, you know what really helps that tip over. You feel your bike go down into a bit of a pocket. Everything sort of starts to collapse a little bit down the front, down the back. I was in that situation yesterday. But these here, I can see how that's going to definitely help. Especially if, you know, you're rolling into a tree, it's going to lock up here and it's not going to just crush your fender. Anyway, so these need to go on now. There's only 3 little bolts that need to come out. It's nice working on these new bikes because there's no rust. Our Canadian winters here, some guys drive ATVs in the snow, and then we get all that salt on the roads, and that's not a good thing. All the bikes get nasty. All right, I'll just line up this over the bar, over those 3 holes, but before I start putting those in, remember everything's still pretty loose yet. I'm going to put these bolts in right here. Now everything gets torqued a little bit once it gets heated up in the welding process. Sometimes things are out just a little hair, even if they're jigged, it happens. So we just sort of want to put everything in there loosely. But those are going to hold that in place while I get these in. There we go. There. I'll find one hole first. Everything will come along after that. I do have a power ratchet, but of course it's at my property, so I have to do it old school by hand. Well, I guess if it really old school, it would be with a wrench. Like that's really, really old school. There. The key is nice and loose. That's it. Now everything's gonna just go right in there. Tickety-boo, tickety-boo. Not quite sure what tickety-boo means. Why don't you guys tell me? Somebody told me what Jim Dandy means. Like everything's Jim Dandy. It's a song, apparently. I'm not quite sure what tickety-boo is, but I'm sure one old Google search will let you know. I said tickety-boo to an American the other day. They're like, what? What the heck is that? What alien language are you speaking? My cousin's gonna love this. Now the amazing thing about this is that this body armor only weighs about 30 pounds or less. Looks big and cumbersome, but not that bad. And priced economically as well. You're getting a front bumper, which is a good thing. You know, if you buy an aftermarket or a factory bumper, you're not getting all this wraparound stuff. So if you buy the whole kit, you get the bumper, and you get the side protection and the rear protection. You can get a rear bumper, depending on the application. It's pretty cool. I want to hit a tree. Should I be saying that? It's not my bike, it's my cousin's. I told him, no guarantees, buddy. You give me the bike. No guarantees. I'm just gonna go around and tighten the rest of these up. Now that we've done everything, everything's in place. Oh yeah, it looks good. Looks like an animal. You know, they also have a calf carrier for this. I know not everybody drives around with cows on their bikes, but for you ranchers, you farmers, there's a calf carrier. It's pretty cool. We came in one day, and we're on a farm here, and the farmer he's a big lad, big giant hands on him, but anyway, he grabs this calf, it wasn't doing too well, and he wrestled it and he threw it over the top of the bike, and the bike was shaking all over, and he's sweating a big hot day kind of thing. Well, this comes with calf carrier. You just slap the calf on the back and drive him to the barn. It's pretty funny, but effective. I can see why they came up with that idea. Very handy. Gone through and I've done those. I have to get the front. Now, this bar looks like it could go up on top or over top of this whole bar or rack, but we've got this chainsaw mount on here, so I put it underneath. If he wants to move it around, he can. That's up to him. Just given options. We know where the front is now. Just in case you didn't know. It's the front. Everything bolts on. They've done their homework. There we go. Now I say we take it out. Take it for a rip. We're not gonna hurt it. No, it's not my bike. I know you guys want to see that. You guys like to see when I damage things. Look at that. Holy moly. Are you kidding me? That is tough looking. This is wide. I'm not sure how much wider it would be. You're looking at, well, about 2 inches past the fenders. Nice and wide down here, which is nice. Lots of foot room. I'm digging it. I think the brakes work on this. I don't usually have working brakes. 1 down and 5 up. No. I want to hit things. It's a beautiful day here. Starting to get cool. Starting to feel a little bit like fall, which is awesome. I'm gonna take this thing out for a rip right now. I'm not gonna put this on camera because it's not my bike. I don't want to scare my cousin too much, but I am gonna take this thing for a rip because you know, that's how I roll, right? Well, that's the install of the ATV body armor, atvbodyarmor.com. Check out the link in the description below. I gotta thank them for sending me this. Gotta thank my cousin for lending me his bike and for a day just to play around with and to install this awesome body armor on it. He's gonna love that. Thanks for watching as usual. Keep coming back. We got more stuff going down. Finally gonna get to do some riding with the bikes. Got everything tuned up and we're ready to rock. Maybe we'll hit a little bit of mud with the boys. All right? Thanks for watching.